Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Bootstrap for drop-down menus, navigation bars, menus, forms. We're going to talk about that kind of stuff today. So let's talk about drop-down menus first. Bootstrap makes drop-down menus incredibly easy. You basically can just click a toggleable, that's a hard word to say, toggleable menu that allows people to choose from a predefined list of options. And the way you do that is you just create a div, you assign the drop-down class to that div, and then inside you create a button, and inside that button you give it the drop-down toggle class, and then the data toggle is set to drop down, and then inside of, or after that button, you have some links that are within another div called drop-down menu. You can also do a drop-down divider where you add a divider in so you can separate your links. Let's see, you can create a headers within the drop-down so that you can kind of organize your links a little bit. You can disable items within the drop-down menu. You can set the drop-down menu to come out the side instead of come out the bottom. You can do a drop up menu if you'd like. You can do just text within. You can do grouped buttons with a drop down on one of the buttons in the group. You can do split buttons where you have a button and then a drop down menu next to it. Let's see, vertical button group with a drop down. So there's all kinds of variations that you can apply. Sorry, it's a bit warm and I have my window open, and so you're probably hearing like trains and stuff going by outside. It's a nice autumn night outside, and I like to have the breeze coming in. All right, let's talk about collapsible text. So you can create text that basically hides itself. Collapsible text is really helpful for, items that you don't want to show up on your web page until someone clicks a button. You can create an accordion like this. So you can have something like this on your page. Navigation menus. So we can create, basically you can just create a horizontal set of links. There's also you can center align or right justify your navigation links. You can create tabs as well so that people can tab through content on your page. You can use links, you can set up pills, so you can create a series of links that are all pills. And again, just like everything else in Bootstrap, all we're doing is we're just creating a regular HTML element. In this case, it's an unordered list, and we're just applying a specific class to it to make it behave the way we want it to. Justified pills and tabs. Let's see. Drop downs added into the tabs. So honestly, with all of this stuff, you should easily be able to find any way you want to organize your content. You can figure it out through Bootstrap. Okay, let's talk about navigation bars, because these are, you'll see one of these on pretty much every website. There's one here on this website, all the way up here at the top. Now, with this example, so with W3 Schools, notice that there's this header up here whenever I'm scrolled all the way up. But as I scroll down, the header goes away, but the nav bar stays there, right? That's something you're going to learn how to do on this page. So here's an example of a nav bar with a search bar right there, a couple links in there, maybe your company logo right there. I'm going to talk about, so you can do colored nav bars. You can use whatever colors you want in the Bootstrap color class. Collapsing nav bar. So this is something that you're going to see a lot on mobile devices. So you'll set up your nav bar so that whenever your screen width is less than a certain percent, then it goes to this collapsible nav bar because it's a lot easier. It's a lot nicer looking on mobile devices. Nav bar with a drop down. And again, all the stuff in here is literally just applying the right class to your item. Nav bar forms and buttons, text. So fixed navigation bar. So if you want to fix your navigation bar at the top of the screen without header content above it, then you can just apply the fixed top class and it'll fix it right on the top of your screen, and you can scroll and it'll stay right there. If you use fixed bottom, then your nav bar will stay on the bottom of the screen. I haven't seen people use this too often, but you have that ability if you'd like to use it. Then we have the sticky top. This is the one that we're using here on this W3 Schools website. So with the sticky top, you can have content above the nav bar. And then as you scroll past the nav bar sticks to the top of the screen. This is my preferred method of using navigation bars. I think it's like the cleanest look, and it's really, really easy to implement. Okay. Let's talk about forms. Forms in Bootstrap are way, way better looking than just regular HTML forms. Just like everything else in Bootstrap, Bootstrap allows us to create these objects and make them look modern, make them look like other websites that you see on the internet. So here's an example of just a basic form. Notice it looks a whole lot better than just your basic HTML. You can do an inline form like this. Now note with an inline form that only applies to forms within viewports that are at least 576 pixels wide. On screen smaller than 576, it's going to stack vertically. You can add utilities. So basically spacing and stuff. We can use the grid system to create a form and format it properly, format it the right way. We can use validation for the form, basically saying, hey, these fields have to be filled out or it's not going to work. Let's see. That's about it for forms. Let's talk about input groups. So there are a lot of different input styles that you can use in Bootstrap. So you have your basic input text box, just like this. You have an input text area, which looks a whole lot better, and it's resizable as well. You also have checkboxes, which are perfect. They look great. Inline checkboxes. Radio buttons. Radio buttons are really great. Now, all of this stuff is stuff that we went over in Web Development 1, so I'm not explaining what all these things are. You should know what this is by now. This one's cool. You can do a select list. So you can choose, you can do a drop-down menu and select things. You can also do a multiple select list where you can select a bunch of them by either clicking and dragging or shift clicking, right? Let's see, we can set the size of the control. So if you want big boxes, then you can use the control large, or if you want them smaller, you can use small. Let's see, we can create sliders. You can input a file. Oh, I didn't actually want to click it, even though I did. So those are a bunch of input types that you can use in Bootstrap. There are others that we can use. We can do things like create, add this little thing here on the end to say that, hey, this is something, kind of reminding them what they need to use. So the @ would be like your username. Over here, @example.com, so your email, we can enter in emails like that. Again, we can group things together and then change the size as well. Multiple inputs and helpers. So we can put these little add-ons here, and then we can also do like multiple group together. So these just look pretty good. You can do input group buttons. drop downs. I mean, really, there's so much stuff that you can do with Bootstrap forms. So you have customize. So this is just showing off the difference between the Bootstrap 4 forms and the browser defaults. So they look a bit better, I think. They just look much, much better. All right. Yeah. Anyway, this is all just kind of showing off what they have as far as options. So, you know, at this point, if you don't know how to go through W3 schools and find the things you're looking for and copy and paste the code and then change it to make it work, then, you know, you've been taking the wrong classes for the last year or so. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this here, and I'm going to let you kind of explore on your own. Please let me know if you have any questions. So this week, your assignment is to build a website where you have a form on your website using Bootstrap 4 forms. You're going to include, you know, a couple of different input types. And then on the top of the form page, you are going to include a horizontal navigation bar that sticks to the top of the screen when we scroll. So, you know, check out the assignment description for all of that information. And once you're done with that, turn it in, and then you can move on to your final project for the term. All right. Thanks for paying attention, and I'll see you later.